There we go. Hi, and welcome everyone to Paranormasight, the Mermaid's Curse. I'm your host, DJ Right now. I'm going to play this a little bit more, because holy hell. Where this is a point-and-click horror game, where I don't know anything about it. Came out recently, it's the latest entry in the Paranormasight series. And all I can say is, viewer discretion advised. This is a mature game with violence, blood, and gore. It is a horror game. So, view at your own risk. You have been warned. I might not turn this into a series, this is just checking it out. Mainly because I couldn't think of anything else to play today. My apologies for the wait. Welcome. Allow me to introduce myself. I am the Storyteller, your guide to the world of Paranormasight. Now then, I understand you might be keen to dive into our story, but there's some important matters I must address first, so please bear with me a while longer. First, this game uses autosave. The game will automatically save at regular intervals, so you may stop playing at any time. Next, please look at the upper right of the screen. This is the menu button. From here, you can check the text log, view files, and adjust your settings for auto mode. You can also adjust the volume and other game settings in the options menu. If you find that certain effects make the text difficult to read, you may turn them off. I recommend you check the brightness, controls, and other settings now before continuing. Ooh. So we have the text log there. I want to see if I can just plug in my controller, because it feels like this game is best played with a controller. There we go. Standard. A is confirmed, B is cancelled. Okay. Files updated. Open updates page. Where's the updates page? Ah, here we go. Usability. Ooh. How to play. The Storyteller. Sex unknown, occupation unknown, age unknown. The guide to those who visit Paranormasight. Everything else about him remains a mystery. I am loving this music. Now, let's go over basic controls. When the game is in your control, you may move the right stick to look at your surroundings. You'll once again become able to move after this, so try taking a look behind you before turning back to me. Oh, cool. Wonderful. Well done. You may also select the face of an individual in front of you to talk to them. Please, go ahead and try with me. Bravo! A fine display. There are times where you will be presented with options such as these. You may find it useful to use the directional buttons to select your desired option. What is this place? Do not fear, you will come to know where we are eventually. Once you have seen everything an option has to offer, a check mark will appear next to it like so. Oh, so you've forgotten who you are, have you? But there's no need for concern. It is for that reason that I am here to guide you, after all. You may be confused at first, but continuing through the story should allow you to remember your true objective. That is all for my explanation of the basic controls. I explain other essential functions when the time is right. Ah yes, there is one more thing I wish to confirm before we continue. As you know, I previously served as a guide to a different tale in the world of Paranormasight, one concerning the 7 mysteries of Hanjo. You wouldn't happen to be familiar with the events of that tale, would you? I am not! I see. So you are unaware of what transpired during the incident in Hanjo. Given my position, this may seem awfully impertinent of me, but if all are possible, I recommend that you experience the tale of the 7 mysteries of Hanjo before this one. Why are you zooming in? Of course, the 2 tales are not directly related. You'll still be able to enjoy this story without issue. Blech. There's a hair in my mouth. You may simply find there's one less surprise in store for you is all. But I believe I've kept you waiting long enough. The tale you're about to experience concerns a number of legends passed down in Issei Bay. I'm assuming that is how it's pronounced because I cannot see the phonetic pronunciation. I can only see the word being spelled. A stretch of sea bordering the Mie Prefecture. Specifically, those legends involving mermaids. Yes, as the subtitle suggests, our subject this time is the widely familiar mermaid. Since ancient times, a great many legends about mermaids have been passed down in countries all around the world. In Japan, many of the legends famously include the idea that eating their flesh grants immortality. I'm going to butcher this real quick. The tale of Yao Bikuni, which continues to be told in such places as Wakasa Province, modern-day Fukui Prefecture, is perhaps the most well-known. These legends have spurred those with a yearning for immortality to seek out mermaids since ancient times. Of course, as I just mentioned, there are only some legends concerning mermaids that exist across the globe. Indeed, many have sought out mermaids simply due to fascination with their status as rare and mystical beings. They have also served as inspiration for countless creative and artistic works throughout the ages. Oh god. I breathed and died. Sorry about that. It would seem that mermaids possess a mysterious charm that has captivated the human heart for myriad reasons, irrespective of era or culture. Mie Prefecture. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Mie Prefecture is located in the eastern part of the Ki Peninsula in central Honshu, the Japanese mainland, and falls within both Chubu and Kinki regions, measuring 170 kilometers from north to south. I just realized that there's a red backing to the text and it's actually fucking my eyes a little bit. Holy crap. From north to south and 80 kilometers from east to west. It has a narrow, elongated shape and is known for its rich natural diversity that differs greatly between its northern and southern regions. Cool. The varied and abundant nature of Mie Prefecture has led it to be known as the Land of Great Beauty since ancient times, even back when it was still known as Issei Province. It was also purported to be the land whither repair the waves from the eternal world, which led to the establishment of Issei Shrine as a place of enshrinement for the goddess Amaterasu. Ah! I am familiar with that because of Okami. The eternal world is said to be a realm across the sea separate from the one in which we live, often described as an eternal paradise. Issei was seen as the land where the waves from this world continually broke, connecting the material world and the world beyond. Famous spots and scenic vistas in Mie Prefecture. Ise Shrine. Iseji route of the Kumano Kodo, a series of ancient pilgrimage routes. Birthplace of the Iga Ninja Clan. Birthplace of the Issei. I'm so sorry. Suzuka International Racing Course. Horse racing. Toba Aquarium. Ise-shima National Park, and many more. Local specialties of Mie Prefecture. Pearls, Ise lobsters, abalone, turban shells, oysters, and other marine products. Ise udon, Matsusaka beef, and many more. Ise Bay. Also known by the name the Sea of Ise. Is it Ise or Ise? I don't know. Ise Bay is an enclosed bay located in central Honshu, the Japanese mainland. Although the exact range varies, in this game it refers to the area of sea surrounded by land up to the line drawn from Cape Irago in Aichi Prefecture to Cape Idaho in Mie Prefecture. If anyone knows the proper pronunciation of this, please correct me. That I will appreciate being corrected on. Mermaids. General term for a half-human, half-fish being. Image. A flyer of a mermaid, also known as Kairai, woodblock print from a Kawaraban broadsheet. The first recorded appearance in Japan of a creature believed to be a mermaid was more than 1,300 years ago in the Nihon Shoki Chronicles of Japan. At the time, the term mermaid was not yet in use, and most records are anecdotal reports of sightings of creatures resembling both fish and humans in various places. In ancient Japan as well as other parts of East Asia, depictions of mermaids are often blurred the line between human and fish, frequently portraying them as grotesque monsters. The Middle Ages saw the spread of the legend of the Yao Bikuni through Japan, which claimed that eating mermaid flesh could grant eternal youth and longevity. In the early modern period, the image of mermaids diversified, attracting the wider public interest. Mermaid mummies were exhibited in sideshows, illustrations, and literature featuring mermaids became more common. It was also during this time that the depiction of mermaids as having an upper body of a human woman and the lower body of a fish became more widely recognized. Oh, sweet! Arnold Böcklin. Or Böcklin? I always mess up pronouncing that accent. Play of the Nereides, 1886. Beautiful painting. Although the details vary from country to country, the most common depiction of mermaids in the West likely stems from the sirens of Greek mythology, sea monsters that over time came to be represented as the familiar half-fish, half-human figures. These mermaids were thought to be more akin to spirits or fairies in nature, enchanting those who encountered them with their beautiful feminine appearance and singing voices. The many records of mermaid sightings by sailors during the Age of Discovery have been preserved, and some theories suggest that mermaid sightings and their associated legends may in fact have originated from a sea mammal called a dugong, or the manatee. Sea cow. Ah yes, the files added just now should provide a general overview of the terms that came up in our conversation. It seems like you've already taken a look, but I do recommend reading them if you have the chance. They may allow you to enjoy the story even more. Words highlighted in pale blue usually indicate that there is a related entry in your files. Now then, allow me to introduce the primary setting of this tale. The majority of our story takes place on Kameshima, an isolated island in the waters of Ise Bay. Kameshima, an island situated between the Atsumi and Shima peninsulas and the most distant of the 4 populated islands under the administration of Toba City in Mie Prefecture. It has an area of approximately 0.7 square kilometers and a population of about 900. The island's name comes from the turtle-like shape, with Kame meaning turtle in Japanese. Oh my god, Roshi's house in Dragon Ball Z is literally named Kame House, meaning turtle house, because he's the freaking turtle hermit. I was today years old. Well, we learned something new, at least. Famous for its karst landscapes and other beautiful scenery, Kamishima is a popular location for tourists year-round. Recently, the island's youth organization has been leading a revitalization effort to boost the local economy and strengthen the community, creating an island logo and a mascot character, Kamishimaru, which are expected to bring more people to the area. You experienced events through the eyes of a young resident of the island, one Yuza Minakuchi. If nothing else, please remember that. Well, I believe this ends my initial explanation. Bon voyage, and do enjoy the tale. I haven't actually done that, like, deep, posh voice that I like to do for, like, fancy characters in a long while. This is a work of fiction based on existing locations and legends. Please note that one of the locations that appears in this game, Kamishima, I could not finish reading that, but it was shown on screen regardless. Thank you, disclaimers. Did you come to me, or did I go to you? I cannot recall whether it was a dream or reality. I cannot recall if I was asleep or awake. The Tales of Issei, Passage 69, Kari no Tsukai. Alright, this should do it. All good to go, Yuza? Yep, ready as can be. Feels so light, and I can even outswim. Oh, is he diving for oysters? No, more than that. I was born for this moment. The legend of Kamishima's patron saint of diving begins today. Kamishima Youth, Yuza Minakuchi. I'm loving this art style. Yes, Ama divers. Like, they don't dive with any air tanks. Just like a typical wetsuit and like goggles. Like that wide, those like wide port goggles that you saw him holding. Sex, male. Occupation, apprenticed Ama diver. Age, 18 years old. A young man born and raised on Kamishima. Although generally quiet and serious, he has an eccentric side that often makes him that sees him make jokes and wisecracks with a straight face, catching whoever he's talking to off guard. After losing his parents in the large-scale maritime accident 5 years ago, he was raised by his grandmother, veteran Ama diver Tsuyu Minakuchi. He briefly found work at a seafood processing plant in Toba after graduating high school earlier in the year. But upon hearing that Tsuyu had injured her leg, forcing her to retire from diving and causing difficulties in her daily life, he quit his job after only 3 months and returned to Kamishima. At present, he is caring for Tsuyu while looking for work on Kamishima, and he has recently made the decision to follow in Tsuyu's footsteps to become an Ama diver himself. Although he has been unable to bring himself to enter the sea since the disaster 5 years ago, he is hoping that his previous aptitude for swimming will lend itself to a natural talent for Ama diving. His current diver rank is 1. Quiet and introverted, he began to show more of an animated side upon befriending Azami Kumoi, a boy his same age, and eventually became a common sight to see them getting up to mischief together. Although the maritime disaster 5 years ago saw a drastic shift in the way most Kamishima's inhabitants treated Yuza, Azami alone continued to treat him the same. Even now, it is not uncommon for Azami to find himself caught up in Yuza's eccentric exploits, but he is always quick to laugh and follow his lead. Oh, it sounds pretty impressive, but this is your first time diving out in the bay, so don't push yourself too hard, right? Yeah, I know it's my first time, but somehow I'm brimming with confidence. I just know I can land a massive haul if I try. Well, I'm glad to see you're raring to go, but make sure you don't go too far from the boat at first. Best friend, Azami Kumoy. Hey, he said same age! His birthday was probably first. Azami Kumoy. Sex, male. Occupation, fisherman. Age, 19 years old. A young man born and raised on Kamishima, he has been friends with Yuza Minakuchi since childhood. He has a friendly and caring personality, and his willingness to help those around him has made him someone islanders of all ages rely on in times of need. His father was a fisherman, and he accompanied him out to sea on his boat from a very young age. As a result, he grew up never doubting that he too would one day become a fisherman. After his father died in a maritime disaster 5 years ago, his mother, an Ama diver, took on the responsibility of raising Azami and his much younger brother on her own. During the closed season for diving, when his mother worked on the mainland, Azami was responsible for looking after his brother. After graduating middle school, he refused his mother's suggestion to attend high school and quickly obtained a 4th-class boat pilot license while helping with fishing around the island. He is now able to take his father's small fishing boat, the Sayun Maru, out on fishing trips on his own. He has a frank, easygoing relationship with Yuza, his childhood friend, and the two often get up to mischief together. Although he was happy for Yuza when he left to attend high school on the mainland and later found a job there, he also felt somewhat lonely. For this reason, he secretly welcomed the news that Yuza would be leaving his job and returning to Kamishima to take care of his grandmother. Don't need to worry, Azami. You just focus on getting the grill ready. We're having a feast tonight. I'll hold you to that. The diving minigame will now commence. Follow the instructions to get used to the controls, then press dive when you're ready. Aim low. Diver rank 1. What's that button do? I don't know. Dive. Only 2 controls are needed. Stick, look around, confirm button, perform action. The available reaction will automatically switch between swim, harvest, and return to boat depending on the situation. Areas where sea creatures are located will be marked with an exclamation point. Begin by looking around to try and locate any potential catches. Your oxygen gauge will decrease when diving. Be sure to go back to the boat before time runs out. You can return to boat by any time by turning your viewpoint upwards and selecting Return to Boat. The remaining oxygen will continue to decrease on the way back, so don't wait until it's too late. What? Excuse me? I barely had any time! Okay. Let's not venture too far away from the boat. Gathering complete. I got an oyster. I think it's a scallop and an urchin. I'd rather upgrade my diving. That'll give me more wiggle room. That covers the basics for underwater gathering. Replay the tutorial? No, I'm good. That's actually very self-explanatory. Okay, looks like you're all warmed up. Let's go out a bit further so you can look for something bigger. The biggest catch you can probably get this time of year is probably abalone. Snagging just one is something to be proud of. But remember that sea creatures are living things. They'll change places every time you dive, so be careful. Diving controls, diving tips. Perfect harvest. When using the harvest action, a perfect harvest may occasionally occur, instantly depleting your target's resistance gauge with a single action. The higher a diver rank, the more likely you achieve the perfect harvest. Earn stars in your gathering log. Information on your catches will be recorded in your gathering log. Each catch has its own individual variations, and the lowest and highest amount of points you achieved from each catch will also be recorded. Once you record the highest and lowest limits for that catch, a star mark will be added next to those point values. That's cool. Yes! I was actually mentioning this, but I'm not going to read every single bit that comes up. Well, that's actually important. It's not like you have to master everything all at once. You can take off whenever you're ready. Okay. Dive. There we go. Gathering complete, and we got 3 things this time. Diver rank up. Dive. I really enjoy the diving minigame. Got urchins. Oh, I can just hit Y. Okay, that's good. I'm actually really enjoying this. Like, it's a cute mini game. It's pretty damn cool. And I love fishing mini games. You're purple. Almost had that snail. I'm gonna continue going for a little bit more. This is fun. Let's return to the boat because I don't want to drown. Nice. I'll increase my oxygen, and I'll probably increase gathering next. I can gather things faster. Ooh. Easy start. Let's head back up, just to be safe. Ooh, new record, nice. Diving enthusiast. Reach diver rank 5. Yeah. Oh. Oh wow, this is making it so much easier. Holy crap. Noble scallop, purple sea urchin, turban shell. Let's go. Let's do 2 more dives and then continue on. Back up. Not bad. Okay, last dive. Let's see what we can get. Nice, critical. Head back up. Man, all this talking about seafood is making me hungry. Okay, let's stop diving for now. Alright, let's leave it at that today. Good work out there, Yuza. Managed to get a fair bit of diving in, huh? But you feel like you got a better grasp on things now. For sure. I feel like my diver rank's gone up at least a bit too. Breaking the 4th wall. So, feel any different now? Did your body undergo any weird changes? Nope. Feel exactly the same. Nothing's changed. I'm the same old Yuza I've always been. Huh. I guess we were a bit off the mark, huh? What do we want to do now? Should we call it a day? I can't choose. Oh. You got it. Kamishima Port, here we come. Ah. Ooh, turtle keychain. You can mess with the key. So cute. Okay, I'm actually going to shut my windows because the sun's going down and it's getting colder. Oh, this is taking place in the 80s. Cool. Hey, Yuza. I took a catch to the market while you were changing. Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. If you keep this up, you should be able to make a healthy profit, even with the price of gas. That's great. I'll have to keep at it then. There you are, Zami. Don't tell me you went out fishing today. Oh, Chie. How's your back doing? Not going to get any better lounging around at home, that's for sure. More importantly, no one's meant to be taking their boats out right now because of the storm that's on the way. Don't tell me you didn't hear. Yeah, but it was more of a warning than a rule. And the weather looked fine, so I figured it was okay. No better than that, Azami. You youngins never listen, do you? Veteran Ama diver, Chie Toyama. Chie Toyama, sex female, occupation veteran Ama diver, age 59 years old. The de facto leader of the Ama divers in Kamishima, she was a highly influential figure on the island. She married into a family on Kamishima shortly after the end of the Second World War at the age of 20, and has been working on Ama diver for close to 40 years, rarely missing the opening day of each diving season. She has displayed a natural talent for diving ever since her day as an apprentice, coming to be known as Chie the Mermaid for the deft ease in which she moves through the water. In her heyday, she had more money than her husband, enough to send all three of her sons to university, an achievement that she takes great pride in and also earned her considerable authority in her household. Now her grandmother is 7. A back injury has led her to be less active than she used to be, but she is still considered one of the most experienced divers on the island. Her graceful swimming shows no signs of decline, continuing to inspire others even now. Her estimated diver rank is 67. Damn! And going out with the Minakuchi boy of all people. Actually, Azami only took his boat out because I asked him to help out with my work. Wait a dang second. Don't tell me you went out to dive. Why do you ask? I did, but why do you ask? Am I not allowed to be an Ama diver? Absolutely not. I won't allow it. But why? He is a member of the association, same as anyone else. As long as he follows the rules, it should be fine, right? Sure, it's rare for the guys to become Ama divers, but it's not like it's forbidden or anything. That ain't what I'm talking about. I'm not saying you shouldn't be allowed in the sea. It's obscene. It is what it is. Is what it is. Everyone agreed to put up with him being on the island for Suyu's sake. But now he gets in his head to go diving of all things? Have you no sense, boy? Seems I'll have to have a few words with Suyu. You not knowing your place is going to cause everyone trouble. Listen up, Minakuchi boy. You better keep your head down and stay put on dry land where you belong. No more diving, you hear? Hey now, you don't think that's going a bit far? There's no need to lay into Yuzo like that. Azami? What? You really don't think anything of all this after what his mother did? Huh? Nope, not at all. Yuzo hasn't done anything wrong. He was a victim of the disaster too, maybe more than anyone else. Recently, there's a strange rumbling coming from the sea. Same rumbling as 5 years ago. Everyone was scared of what might be coming. They're bracing themselves for another big disaster. Oh, is that what you meant by the storm? The weather forecast said things are going to stay calm for a bit, though. The hell with the weather forecast. It didn't save us 5 years ago. Anyhow, you see why we gotta stay in the God of the Sea's good graces. No doing anything to upset them, got it? Foreshadowing. Don't let it get you down, Yuza. EA isn't a bad person at heart, but the old folks here are all pretty firm in their beliefs, I guess. Yeah, it's only natural. I was kind of expecting it, to be honest. Still, I don't think she'd get that mad. Guess they have a bigger chip in their shoulder about all this than I thought. Seems like they really think your mom was to blame for the disaster. Yeah. Guess wanting to get to the bottom of things was one of my reasons for becoming an armor diver. Ooh. Other than sea disaster, a localized storm that broke out in the sea south of Kamishima around 5 years ago, resulting in a maritime accident in which a total of 10 people went missing. Oh, I really should have eaten before stream. Damn, I'm starving. I'll be right back. I'm going to take a quick break, get some food, and we'll be right back. I'm back. The 3 fishing vessels that sailed to sea from Kamishima were suddenly caught in an unanticipated storm and foundered, leaving all but one of the 11 fishermen and armor divers on board missing. When the ships were later dredged up and searched, not a single body was discovered. The sole survivor was Yuza Minakuchi, who was a middle school student at the time. His parents, Kosuke Minakuchi and Mari Minakuchi, as well as Azumi Kumoi's father, Kyokichi Kumoi, were among the victims. Locals in the area reportedly heard an eerie rumbling from the sea on the morning of the incident. God damn. When the boat the Miyakuchi family was on was about to sink, Mari and Tosuke Minakuchi put a life buoy on their son Yuza and helped him escape the boat before waves engulfed it. Despite the slim chances of survival in such a dire situation, Yuza was miraculously found drifting in the sea the next day, still wearing the life buoy, and was successfully rescued. Although he had no external injuries, the shock of the accident left him in a state of confusion, and he has little memory of what happened at that time. After the incident, the accident plunged Kamishima into a state of deep sorrow. Fishermen and amadivers temporarily stopped fishing to mourn, and a memorial was erected to honor the lost. Perhaps due to his memory loss, the sole survivor Yuza appeared relatively composed in contrast to the grief of those around him. Many found this unnerving, and Yuza became increasingly isolated from the rest of the community. Azami Kamoi, himself having lost his father in the accident, tried to support him however he could, reasoning that he was still better off than Yuza, who had lost both his parents before his very eyes. As investigations continued, questions arose about what the Minakuchi family had been doing in the vicinity of the disaster, despite not having gone out to fish. Yuza only remembered his parents telling him to come with them, and the purpose of the excursion remains unclear to this day. It was not long before speculation that Mari Minakuchi had done something to incur the wrath of the god of the sea, and the islanders, already suspicious of her due to her mysterious background, were quick to condemn her, citing the sudden, localized nature of the storm. In contrast, the only words of sympathy were spoken for her husband, Tosuke. As rumors that Mare had brought disaster to Kamishima continued to spread, Yuza's grandmother, Tsuyu Minakuchi, sent him away from the island to board at a high school on the mainland. He had sensed the islanders' resentment beginning to turn towards Yuza and hoped to shield him from becoming an even greater target of their ire. Even now, 5 years after the incident, feelings of the animosity towards Mari Minakuchi remain deeply ingrained in the people of Kamishima. With the truth of the accident still shrouded in mystery, deep scars and suspicions continue to linger in the hearts of many of the islanders. What? Oh. Ooh. Age unknown? Yuza's mother, having gone missing in the Kamishima Southern Sea disaster 5 years ago, she was declared dead a year later after search parties found no sign of her. More than 20 years ago, Mare Samakawa arrived on Kamishima with no possessions to her name, expressing that she had taken a liking to the local environment and wanted to move there. Huh. After settling on the island, she showed an interest in the Ama lifestyle and eventually took it up after displaying a talent for free diving, with Tsuyu Minakuchi acting as her instructor. During this time, she grew close to Tosuke Minakuchi, Tsuyu's only son, and eventually married him a few years later. The two would go on to have a son of their own, whom they named Yuza. Despite this, Mari was unable to fully shake the air of mystery that surrounded her, and many islanders continued to question whether her presence on the island might cause trouble down the line. Something of a free spirit, her nonconformist ways, and somewhat naive personality meant that she was often absent from local activities, leading to further criticism from a portion of the population. Some also reported frequently spotting her wandering the island after she moved there, seemingly looking for something or catching sight of her doing something on the shore in the middle of the night. Fortunately, her mother-in-law, Tsuyu Minakuchi, was a person of no small influence on Kamishima, and no one dared to openly persecute Mari under Tsuyu's watchful eye. 3 generations lived peacefully under the same roof for more than 10 years until the Southern Sea disaster tore them apart. Wow. Yeah, everyone's been avoiding the topic until now, but they can't go on forever. Kikuko? Hey, you two. Oh, it's Kikuko. Yeah, you two over there. Ooh, that's an interesting birthmark? Star? Did I get some help with these boxes here? I need to get them to the warehouse. Local Ama Diver. Hikuro Utsui. Higuo Tsutsui, sex, female, occupation Ama Diver, age 28 years old. A woman born and raised in Kamishima, unmarried, she is known for her friendly, sociable nature and almost sisterly tendency to look after others, both of which make her a familiar face to many on the island. Ever since her school days, Higuo harbored a strong desire to leave Kamishima and make a life for herself elsewhere. While most of her classmates began working as Ama divers following graduation from middle school, she decided to enroll in a boarding school as a first step towards fulfilling this goal, going on to graduate from a junior college in Aichi Prefecture, then finding a job in general administration at a company in Ise City. However, because her assigned work consisted only of unfulfilling menial tasks like pouring tea, answering calls, she left after only 1 year later. She changed jobs repeatedly over the following years, but found no further luck in subsequent workplaces, eventually recognizing that success as an Ama diver is determined solely by the extent of one's physical prowess and ingenuity. She came to find the idea of such work appealing and moved back to Kamishima 4 years ago. Despite her late start as an Ama diver compared to her peers, she leveraged her high athletic ability, a talent which even saw her star in the national athletic meet during her school days, and her innate knack for analytical thinking and research to consistently turn out good results. And she has since earned the respect of even the veteran Ama divers on the island. Her estimated diver rank is 41. Kikuko has had scant luck with men, having been introduced to several potential partners only to be turned down by all of them. Her parents, anxious for her future, worry that the large birthmark on her face is to blame, but Kikuko herself... Kikuko, not Kikuo, completely different pronunciation, herself remains unfazed, citing her lack of interest in marriage as the primary cause, something which has caused them no end of concern. Although she's endeavored to hide her birthmark with makeup while at school, during her time as an office worker, she has since embraced it, proudly proclaiming it to be her symbol. Phew, thanks. I knew I could rely on you youngins to help out. Youngins. You're a youngin too, Kikuko. Oh, how kind. Pretty sure you're the only ones who say that, though. I was told out of nowhere to make sure anything valuable is stowed away just in case a storm hits. What a pain. Are you getting ready for the storm too? Yep. Pretty silly when the weather's this good. Not like I can say no though. Speaking of pains, I overheard Chie giving you an earful just now. Are you seriously planning on becoming an Ama diver user? Well, that was the plan, but it's looking I might be forced into retirement before I even begin it. Why now? Did you come back here to lift after Suyu? Yes, but I still have to work, and I've always been interested in Ama diving. Her hand was also pretty down about no longer being able to dive, so I thought I might cheer her up a bit. Ah, so you want to follow in Suyu's footsteps. Still, you must have noticed that everyone was on edge just at the thought of you coming back here. To hear you went diving, there'll likely be a bit of an uproar. Are they really that set against Yuya going in the sea? I've never heard anyone say anything like that. Well, they don't say it where you can hear it. Everyone loves you here, and they know you're close with Yuza. They probably feel they can't be tough on him with you around. Was that? Never mind. What can I say anything? I can't deny there's been creepy rumbling coming from the sea recently, though. No wonder everyone's unnerved. If some sort of disaster does end up happening again and Yuza gets caught doing something he wasn't meant to, that'll probably be it for him. Yeah, that's what I don't get. Do people seriously believe Yuza's mom caused that storm? Everyone suffered because of it, including Yuza's family. It's so stupid. Hey, I honestly think it's stupid too. But the truth is there are a bunch of people who believe it. Making a fuss about it isn't going to get you anywhere, right? Besides, even if this storm doesn't come in the end, a different kind of storm may already be brewing. A different kind of storm? Well, you shouldn't have any trouble if you keep your head down. Be good and do what you're told, and don't get on your case, yeah? Give me a break. Why does he guys keep his head down here? He was born and raised in Kamishima just like anyone else. Hey, getting mad at me won't change anything. If it upsets you that much, why don't you leave? Leaving a place like this behind might be for the best, don't you think? Maybe. You can't just ask my gran to move somewhere else at her age. You just have to put up with it. If you want to blame anyone, blame your mom. Did Mom didn't do anything 5 years ago? No one wants to tell us anything. No idea. I only came back here after the disaster, so I don't know what happened at the time. Mr. Wakamura always seems like he knows more than he lets on, though. Now that I think about it, why don't you just sue you what she knows? Do you? I've already asked Graham about it countless times. She says she doesn't know anything. And you don't think that's a bit suspicious? If anyone knows something, it'd be her, right? You may be right. Hold on, I need to turn my eyes are starting to hurt. Let there be light. She is pretty hard to read. I wouldn't be able to tell if she was hiding something anyway. Anyway, I do feel bad for you, but you just gotta grin and bear it. For everyone's sake, eh? Thanks for help, you two. Try to stay out of trouble, okay? Hikugo really seemed like she didn't know anything, huh? The folks are way more on edge than I thought. Yeah, I've gotten the sense I'm not exactly welcome here ever since I came back. If I didn't think trying to make a living here would lead to that much backlash. I didn't realize everyone disliked my mom quite that much. That they were so suspicious of her. It seems like the timing wasn't great either. Everyone's wound up about these ill omens that are happening right now. Still, I'm sure now that my mom must have had some sort of secret, and I'm almost certain it had to do with what we're looking into. If everyone hears that I went diving today, it might prompt people to start talking about what happened 5 years ago. True. If there's any time to ask about your mom, it's now. I think we should see what old man Wakamura and Suyu have to say about this too. Yeah. Assuming Gran agrees to talk about it anyway. Wow, I swear I can read. However, the night would see unprecedented calamity descend upon Kamishima. What are you doing over here, Gran? This is where it's hidden. What is? Wait, what? What? What the fuck? The hell is going on here? The fuck is going on here? Well done in your efforts thus far. I regret to say that even if you continue down this path, you will be helpless to prevent the mysterious attack that befell Kamishima. Yuza Minakuchi's bleak fate will likewise remain unchanged. If I may, perhaps it would be prudent to ignore this route for now and turn your attention elsewhere. Once you have found a way to proceed, you may return here to confirm the results for yourself. From here, you will return to your first diving experience, from which you may seek another way forward. If I may, I suspect you may be overlooking something important in those sunken depths. I advise you to take a closer look behind you on your next dive. Oh, and another thing. I recommend saving manually once you resume your journey. If you fail to find another way forward, it will provide an excellent point from which to try again. I wish you the best of luck on your journey. Thank you, storyteller. He's talking about down there. Well, I need to raise my rank first. Just so I can swim faster, but also gather things more easily. This is incredibly fun though. I'm actually really enjoying this. Low. Upgrading my breathing and swimming burst will actually prove almost invaluable just because of being able to spend more time underwater. which means I can gather more things and I can get more experience. Back up. Ooh, bonus. Sweet. Well, apparently I get bonuses. Why would I? No. Why would I do that? I got an abalone! Sweet! Ooh yeah! Next I'm gonna upgrade my swimming. Let's go back up. So we don't hear the beeping. Ah, so close to the bonus. Hopefully this will get me a level. Probably not. Ah, I was right, but I was close. Anji kind of dicked me over a little bit there. Nice. Good score. Wow. I almost made 2 levels. Okay. I feel like I kind of speed and oxygen is maxed out, so I'm gonna go down to see what's going on there. What the hell? Is that me? Hell? Okay, wow, so I just got like the default bad ending then. The fuck? Okay, so I feel like this is a more like choose your own adventure game where things can just randomly crop up on you. That was weird as fuck, though. I am saving. Oh. Or auto text, probably. That was hella weird, though. Oh wow, wow, that's a fast return now. Holy crap. Hey. The storyteller did hint to look behind me when I dive, so instead of going that way.
abalone. 2 abalone. Oh, I went far. That's where the apparition is. Oh wow, okay. Never mind then. I'm gonna need a higher gathering to break that. Which, did I even break that? Oh. Ow. Pop my back there for a minute. Okay. Operation rank grind, go. Easy stuff. Now is the time to level up my gathering. Not horrible. Okay, let's see what level 3 gathering does for us. Okay, so now we can actually get snails at 1 swipe instead of 3, and urchins at 1 swipe. Like, snails at 2 swipes instead of 3, and urchins at 1 swipe, which is actually very useful. This diving mini game is actually pretty fun. Ooh, almost made it to 20. Oh wow, everything's here. Actually got a lot on that one. We got at least 10? Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Hey, rank 12. Let me get searching up so I can see if that helps. Again, I know this is probably going to be, like, a lot scarier, but so far it's actually fairly chill. Sticker? What? Oh, wow, that's a big urchin. Mockingbird stickers? They're real famous. An unknown artist makes them and hides them all over the place. Might as well pick up... Huh. Bird... These popular bird mascot stickers seem to pop up everywhere. No one knows who the artist is behind these quirky, rough-and-tumble birds, or where they'll show up next, but they quickly became popular for the bizarre yet oddly cute designs. Be in the right place at the right time in Issei and the surrounding areas, you might be able to find all 20 of them. Huh! Interesting. Ubi Bravo! Huh. Interesting. Bird stickers. This was made for me. I almost made it through with a few couple good crits. But if I ever know anything, a symbol blocked with a chain in Eastern mysticism, bad mojo. Am I gonna break it? Yeah. Shit, a lobster! that goddamn lobster. Jesus, almost 1,200 points for that score. I might as well go up 2 ranks. Catch an Issei lobster. An abalone, a rare sea snail known as both a delicacy and for the extreme difficulty involved in harvesting it. It has a long history of being presented to the Issei shrine as an offering. Issei lobster, one of Issei's signature products. This lobster is well known both as a luxury and a symbol of good fortune, and especially prized for its rich tender meat. Note, although harvestable in-game, the fishing season for Issei lobsters only begins in October. Ah. Interesting. Back here. Turns the boat. Okay. Nice. 1,500 on a dot. Damn. Okay, gathering is maxed out. Fish bonanza. Okay, so I should have an easier time breaking that chain though, and I should have saved beforehand. I will do this dive, get some XP. Yeah, did I just get like 10? I think I at least got 8 things there. I hope I got 10 so I get the bonus. Hell yeah! Jesus. Almost 2,800. Okay. Okay, that was my guess. What achievement did I get? Local delicacy hall. Reach a high score of 2,000. Damn. Okay, let's dive and break that chain. Reluctantly. Nice. lie, I forgot where that chain was, so might as well do a little bit of gathering just to capitalize on that lobster. I didn't exactly capitalize on the lobster, but hey, fair amount of points. Where did this thing go? You're here. Okay, now I got my bearings. I don't think I even have enough freaking oxygen left to even make a dent in that chain, so I might as well just do some harvesting. Yep. Called it! Well, I broke that. Maybe there's another one? Mockingbird 18. Call it and God damn it. I'm gonna save and stop diving here to see if that changed anything. Honestly, honestly, I kind of surprised myself as well. Maybe I really am the patron saint of diving. This is what I expect from a living legend. So, do you feel any different? Did your body undergo any weird changes? Nope, I feel exactly the same. Nothing's changed. I'm still the same old user I've always been. Talk about the hole. Azumi? Before I head back, can we talk a bit? Sure, what's up? Kamishima is located in the waters near the entrance to Ise Bay. As such, there are strict regulations on both the times and places ama diving is allowed. Fishing boat. This fishing boat, the Sayun Maru, belongs to Azumi's family. I don't have a boat of my own, so Azumi was kind enough to bring it out for me. It used to belong to his dad, so it's getting on in years, but he takes good care of it, and it seems he's hoping to keep using it for years to come. Oh, found the sticker!
What the hell? By the way, it's Mockingbird number 8, Tit for Tat. He's a long-tailed tit. Apparently you've met this character behind that lizard. What the hell? Okay. Why? I was diving just now. A giant hole in the seabed you never heard of before? Yeah, the rocks around it look like they've only recently collapsed. But I think it probably opened up within the last few months or so. Now that you mention it, there was a pretty big earthquake around here 3 months ago. Maybe that had something to do with it. Alright. Would have been before I got back. Anyway, if you saw a giant hole in the seabed, you'd be curious about it, right? I sure would. Curious enough to try and take a look inside? It'd be pretty dangerous. But I guess I might, yeah? Right? So I went closer and tried to get a better look. Did you see anything? When I looked down to the hole, a ghost or something that looked just like me suddenly rose up from the depths. A ghost that looked like you. It ran to me with its hand outstretched. It looked like it was trying to hand something to me, trying to tell me something? Man, what did you do then? Did you take its hand? I did. I felt like I couldn't resist somehow. I guess even the patron saint of diving does foolish things sometimes. The only thing I was a patron of was carelessness and a lack of proper vigilance. It sounded like there wasn't much you could do about it, though. Hey, Yuza? Huh? The thing you ran into, do you think it could have been a Omokazuki? Omokazuki? The heck's a Omokazuki? Huh? You never heard of it? Well, I guess not even all the folks around here know about it either. It does sound familiar, though. The Tomokazuki is a sort of ghost story around these parts. The story goes that sometimes when diving, an alma diver will come across another version of themselves. Exact copy. That the other version of them will be holding out something they want, like an abalone. Something they want. And when the diver reaches for it, the Tomokazuki grabs them and drags them to the bottom of the sea. Well, that's scary. But wait, the Tomokazuki I saw wasn't holding anything. It wasn't? Well, that's different. Maybe I forgot at home or something. At home, huh? The abalone? Yeah, the abalone. Maybe it left it at home. Maybe. Maybe the Tomokazuki is more careless than the legends let on. You're pretty forgetful, though, so maybe it became such a perfect copy that it imitated that aspect of you as well. Oh, damn Tomokazuki, it knows my every weakness. Now that you mention it, though, I think I do remember that story when I was younger. I guess the fact that I forgot the story really proves how forgetful I am, though. No worries, it was a while ago, you know? Wow. Did anything happen after you took its hand? I don't remember. I don't really remember. When I came to, I was back outside the hole. Maybe I thought I blacked out due to lack of oxygen, and maybe in some sort of hallucination? I see. Yeah, I guess that's possible. If that's the case, it means I stopped you just to talk about some hallucination I saw, and that'd be super embarrassing. Some people do say the Tomokazuki legends might have come about because a diver is seeing things when they run out of air. Hey, it's no big deal even if it was a hallucination. The most important thing is that you're safe. Still, I can't wonder about a hole suddenly appearing like that. That's pretty weird. By the way, you know those symbols on your diving gear? Symbols? Yep. Simon and Dolman. The alma divers around here.
all have them somewhere on their outfits. Oh, this is my mom's gear, so I didn't know. People say those symbols work as a charm to protect divers from the Tomokazuki. Interesting. But if I ran to a Tomokazuki right now, wouldn't that mean the charm didn't work? Maybe, but it could be thanks to the charm that you made it back safely. The sea's a dangerous place even without the Tomokazuki around. Things could have been worse without the charm to protect you. I see, so without this charm I really could have been attacked by a shark. Glad I had it then. Seriously, a shark would have been no laughing matter. Tomokazuki, a long time ago in a small village on one of the islands in the Issei Sea, there lived a young ama diver known for exceptional swimming skills. One day, the wind was strong and the waves were higher than usual. Undeterred by the turbulent weather, the young diver dove into the sea but couldn't find even the smallest shell to bring back, let alone any abalone. Determined to find something, she dove deeper into the ocean until she paused. Sensing a presence behind her, turning, she felt an undeniable sense that someone was watching her from a shadowy crevice in the rock. Finding this strange, she ventured closer only to come face to face with a diver who looked exactly like her. As she floated there, stunned, the other diver extended her hand. In it was an abalone, larger than any she had ever seen. The young diver was mesmerized. She had to have that abalone no matter what. She reached out her hand to take it. Suddenly, when her fingers were mere inches away from the abalone, the other diver's hand shot out and grasped her arm. Shocked, the diver frantically struggled to pull away, but it was too late. Slowly, inevitably, she was dragged down into the depths of the ocean. Over time, this became known as the Tomokazuki, the Together Diver. Due to it taking on an identical appearance to its victims, divers are warned to never accept Tomokazuki offerings in the depths, lest they suffer the same fate. Tit for tat. A Tomokazuki, huh? Why'd something like that be here? Recollection. Unlocked past recollection. Ooh. My apologies for the interruption. I'd just like to take this chance to inform you you're about to I'd like to take this chance to inform you about a unique ability of yours, the recollection feature. But to make things clear, I must first tell you about the story chart. From here on, you'll return to this screen. The story chart at breaks in the story. You see, the story you will witness will not necessarily unfold in chronological order. This screen will allow you to see where each chapter lies in the grand scheme of things, as well as select where you wish to proceed next. If the icon for a chapter is not dim, it indicates it has not been fully completed. Generally speaking, completing a chapter will unlock the chapter immediately after it. However, there will be occasionally times where a recollection button will appear during the story as you experienced just now. Pressing this button will allow you to delve into a memory invoked by certain words in the text, which will in turn unlock a new chapter, a past recollection chapter for you to experience. A most remarkable ability, is it not? Once you have unlocked such a chapter, it will become available in the story chart for you to peruse as you wish. This ability will be key in unraveling the tale before you, but be sure to press the recollection button when you see it come up. With that, please enjoy the continuation of this tale. If so, would your mom have been an Ama diver because she wanted to find a Tomokazuki? Huh. But she wouldn't have worn something with this charm on it if it were true, right? Good point. There's more. No, there's more actually. This might be the most important part. I realize there's something I need to do after this. Something really important. Hey, so you found a lead down there after all? I'm serious. If I don't pull this off, something terrible is going to happen. Hey, I believe you. Go on, tell me everything. Oh! Okay, so that's dimmed. A day before he sets off for the sea as an Ama diver, Yuzo Minakuchi asked Azami Kumoi to meet him at the Kante Kisho ruins. There's a little bit of a grammatical error there. But, See. If you say you want to be an Ama diver, then of course you've got my full support. But something tells me you're not just doing this just for Suyu. People are bound to talk if you become an Ama diver here. You must have some other reason, one big enough to risk everyone running their mouths. I knew I couldn't hide anything from you, Azumi. Wouldn't take me even 0.2 seconds to see through one of your lies. What's up? Tell me everything. There are ruins of an old wartime building, the Kante Kisho. The building's been abandoned, so hardly anyone ever comes here, which makes it a perfect place for private meetings. You're gonna tell Azumi everything, right? Hey Azumi, what I'm about to say is going to sound pretty crazy. Still want to hear it? Sure, bring it on. Thanks. I'll come right and say it then. I'm looking for a mermaid. I need to find one by tomorrow. Oh, a mermaid, huh? By tomorrow at that. It's gonna be tough. I'm being serious. In fact, I've never been even more serious. I really do have to find a mermaid by tomorrow. Huh, I can tell you're not joking by the look on your face. You've got some sort of reason. For saying this, right? Go on, I'm listening. Thanks, Azumi. Is it okay if I talk a little about the disaster 5 years ago? Ah, disaster, huh? You're okay with it, sure. I was in middle school at the time, and my parents would take me out into the bay on a little fishing boat. This massive storm came out of nowhere and sank all 3 fishing boats that got caught up in it. I was the only one who survived. Yeah, it was really terrible. What about the disaster did you want to talk about? Well, I've recently started to remember some things about what happened. For real? I know your memories of the disaster were kind of hazy due to the shock, but it's great you're starting to remember. No, but I guess it's not exactly something you want to remember, huh? Sorry for getting all fired up. It's okay. It actually hasn't bothered me as much as I thought it would. Thanks for worrying about me, though. It's just, things I've remembered are a bit strange, so I couldn't bring myself to say anything. I'm freaking quiet about it now. Strange, huh? I can see why you want to keep it to yourself, all things considered. Sweat it. What about the accident? When we ran into the storm, our boat got caught in the whirlpool and started to sink. My parents gave me a life buoy and lowered me into the water. They were frantic and I was too stunned to do anything but go along with what was happening. I can imagine. It must have been really scary. waves were knocking me around, so it took everything I had just to hold on to the buoy. In the end, I just watched as the boat was swallowed by the water. I couldn't do anything else. There wasn't anything you could have done. It wasn't your fault, Yuza. But right after that, this huge wave came crashing down on me. I got dragged down into the depths of the sea, right buoy and all. Huh? You got pulled under? But I thought... Yeah, up until now, I thought I managed to miraculously stay afloat until I got rescued. But I remember now, I was pulled down underneath the waves. I remember being caught in a current and tossed about underwater. I couldn't breathe, so I was sure... But, yeah, I couldn't breathe. I was so sure I was going to die down there. But then someone grabbed my hand. Wait, are you saying what I think you're saying? I was barely conscious at that point, so it's not like I saw him clearly or anything. I'm certain someone was there with me, someone who grabbed a hold of me and pulled me to safety. From what I remember. You're saying they were a mermaid? Exactly. But you were saved by a mermaid. Sure of it. But exactly like what first comes to mind when you hear the word mermaid. A real mermaid, huh? But those are really extreme situations, or entirely possible I was just seeing things. Which would mean I called you out here just to talk about some hallucination I had. If that's the case, I'm gonna be super embarrassed. I mean, you're standing here talking to me now, right? So you must have gotten out of that situation somehow. I can't imagine any normal person being able to stay afloat in a storm like that, let alone managing to save someone. Same. You gotta be some sort of superhuman or something. Not human at all. Huh. Man, who could have guessed there are mermaids here in Issei? If I really was saved by a mermaid, I owe him my life. I'd like to thank him in person if possible. Makes sense, so that's why you're looking for them, huh? Well, if we manage to find them, I gotta thank them for saving you too. I was thinking of heading to where the disaster happened and diving there to see if I could find anything. Wait. Are you sure? You almost died there. I'll be fine. In fact, I've never gone near there since the disaster happened. So I was also thinking, I'd like to do something to honor my parents and your dad's memory. Yeah, I'd like to at least offer flowers if nothing else. The others here have always kept their distance, but not like going there is forbidden or anything. Let's do it. Thanks, Osmi. I owe you one. But there's no guarantee the mermaid will still be around there, right? I'm thinking it'd be good to have more of a lead before we head out there. About that, do you mind if I say something crazy? Yen? Sure, what's up? You remember my mom, right? Of course I remember Miss Mare. Miss Mare. Well, she wasn't originally from Kamishima, but she met my dad when she moved here and ended up marrying him. Even to me, she never seemed to really fit in here. Well, I can't really disagree there. She never spoke to me much either. Some people outright told me not to talk to her, you know. He said she was suspicious because we didn't know anything about her, or stuff like that. I guess that's understandable. She didn't really involve herself in community activities and almost never participated in local events. It felt like she was always keeping her distance from the other islanders. Somehow, 20 years here and she was still considered an outsider. Yeah, I never knew how to bring it up to you, but I always kind of wondered. Is there some sort of reason for that? As far as I know. Dad and Gran never seemed to mind, so I figured that's just how she was. But looking back at things now, it was pretty weird. Huh. I guess even though I thought she was a bit of an oddball at times. Say that, but I think you're getting to be pretty similar to her. What? Really? Yeah, what's that saying? Marching to the beat of your own drum? You're both like that. Really? Never realized. Been so blind, a blind fool. Yep, there it is. I'm talking about. Why'd you be with your mom all of a sudden? Well, looking back now, there are a few things that always bothered me. Cool. For a start, no one ever told me where my mom was from. She was also a natural at ama diving, but I never saw her eat any seafood. And sometimes at night, she'd suddenly say she wanted to go look at the sea before going out, and came back for hours. Guess that's all pretty weird, yeah? And that's not all. When I was sorting through my mom's belongings, I found this. I usually keep it in the family altar, but I brought it along today to show you. What is that, a fish scale? Huge. Huge! It's gotta be at least 7-8 centimeters long. I always thought she held on to it because it was a rare find. But once I remembered the mermaid, I began to wonder. What fish could this scale have come from? Why is my mom holding on to it? Whoa, hold it right there. I'm not saying I am. The mermaid who... was myself! Where's my mom? What do you think? I don't know. It's pretty out there. Could that even be possible? Your theory is your mom used to be a mermaid, but she became a human so she could live among us? Yeah, but she turned back into a mermaid when the disaster happened and wasn't able to come back afterwards. How's that sound? I don't know. But hearing your story, I can't just dismiss it out of hand either. If that's really the case, my mom really is still out there in the sea somewhere, in a different form. I was thinking it'd be nice if I could see her again. I think it might be because they're still treated as missing instead of dead, but it still hasn't really sunk in that my parents are gone. I know what you mean. Sometimes I still feel my pops is just going to show up at home again like nothing ever happened. Though even if your mom's alive, I guess it'd be hard for her to show up if she's back in her mermaid form now. If my mom really does have sort of connection to mermaids, then maybe it was the reason she never really fit in here. It might clear up any mistaken impressions the others have of her anyway. You see. So you think that by trying out ama diving like your mom did, you might be able to find something out. Maybe if you're lucky, you run into a mermaid in the process. Yeah. If I really am descended from mermaids somehow, possible diving might awaken something in me. Alright. I hadn't thought of that. I guess if you're like suddenly become fins, we'll know for sure you're a second generation mermaid. Okay, I think I got the gist of what you said, of what you mean about... Thanks for understanding, Azumi. I haven't been happy with how people have been treating you ever since the disaster, either. And what they say about your mom. Is there anything I can do to clear the air? I want to help. Thanks. I appreciate it. I don't know how people will react if you suddenly start talking about mermaids. Might be best to keep quiet about that part for now and just say you're looking into your mom. What do you think? Yeah, I think that'd be best. Okay, now we got that settled. How about we head out tomorrow morning? That sound good to you? Yep. I've been doing some training in secret, so I'm all set. Still having to find Mermaid by tomorrow is pretty sudden. It's a tight deadline. Well... sorry, I can't say right now. If we manage to find one, I'll explain everything. I promise. Well, as long as you tell me later, it's all good. Oh, here's an idea. If you're in that much of a rush, how about you talk to Tsukasa and Sato? Maybe they'll be able to help out. I wonder, it'd be nice to have more help. Would they even believe me? The whole thing is pretty crazy after all. Besides, Tsukasa's going back to the mainland soon. I hate to bother her now. True, still knowing Tsukasa, she might be surprisingly on board with the whole thing. Yeah. Speak of the devil and they shall come. Yeah, when'd you two get here? Oh, talking about something you didn't want us to hear, were you? Boys will be boys, I guess. Childhood friend. Tsukasa Awo. Wow? Tsukasa Awo. Wow. I think that's what I answered. High school student, apprentice samba diver, age 17 years old. A girl born and raised on Kamishima, she has a bright, friendly nature and an inquisitive personality. Currently in her second year of high school, she boasts excellent grades and sharp intuition. She's been staying at a relative's house in Issei City since last year in order to attend an all-girls high school on the mainland. Is currently back on Kamishima for summer break. Despite this, she frequently makes trips back to the island on weekends and is trying her hand at underwater gatherings since the current diving season began. Having long since interested in the Ama lifestyle, her estimated diver rank is 6. However, her teachers have been strongly encouraging her to aim for a national university. She's been friends with Azumi Kamoi and Yuza Minakuchi since high school, with the close rapport making up for the difference in academic years. And it was more common to find her playing with the two boys than girls her own age up until middle school. However, since leaving the island to attend high school, she has grown more conscious of their age difference and has put some distance between herself and them. She hit it off immediately with Sato Shiranami, a girl who came to Kamishima to lodge with the Wakamuras a few months ago, was looking forward to showing her around the island and helping her adapt to life there whenever she returns home. 18 years ago, her still pregnant mother, Nagisa Awao, moved to Kamishima before giving birth to Tsukasa shortly afterwards. Tsukasa subsequently grew up in a single-mother household, although she used to occasionally ask her mother about her father. Her questions were always evaded, so he has since stopped inquiring. However, the fact that her mother never seems to have any financial difficulty despite not working has led her to suspect he might still be involved in some way. Hey, you got us all wrong. We weren't talking about anything like that. Yeah, you gotta hear me out, Tsukasa. I was powerless to resist. I refused at first, but Azumi insisted and... Oh? Tell me more. You might as well admit it, Yuza. And Sato, what's with the sudden keen interest? Enigmatic girl, Sato Shiranami. Occupation house guest, 17 years old. Mysterious girl lodging with Shinobu Wakamura, a local Kamishima magnate. Roughly 3 months ago, Sato suddenly arrived on Kamishima claiming she was a child of a relative of the Wakamuras. She showed no sign of attending school or doing any sort of work, instead spending her days holed up in the Wakamura household, leading many islanders to wonder who she is and what she's doing here. Those who know about the Wakamura's high-interest money lending behind the scenes speculate she might be the daughter of one of her borrowers, sent to work as a domestic servant to pay off a debt. But Sato herself is extremely easygoing and doesn't seem to be bothered by the endless rumors. A huge television fan, she spends much of her spare time glued to the set in the Wakamura household, with most of her recent obsessions being soap operas and 2-hour thrillers. However, she isn't all that fond of period dramas. She is good friends with Tsukasa, who is close to her in age. The two can often be seen enjoying themselves wandering the island together. Let's all calm down, okay? It's not like that. We're having a perfectly normal conversation. Yeah, sure, anyway. Hey, don't just brush me off. Getting pretty worked up, Azumi. You aren't all innocent. You're the one who caused this mess, you know. Sorry to interrupt your fun, but I really do have something to say. Folks are worried you haven't showed up to the association, Azumi. You should probably get going. Oh, damn the meeting. It totally slipped my mind. Sorry, Yuza. I gotta go for now. I'll be in touch later. No problem. Thanks for coming even though you're so busy. Damn, why am I getting so congested? I guess we'll be on our way too, then. Up. Oh. Unless past recollection chapter, Sato Shiramani. Advice. So you hear what we were talking about? Only part where your name came up. I didn't want to be nosy though. I see, well, thanks for coming out all the way out here to get Azumi. I don't know what you guys are up to, but you've piqued my interest. Be sure to tell me about it later, okay? Anyway, see you later. Come on, Sato. Roger. Oh, one more thing. You better not forget about the day after tomorrow. Tell Azumi he better remember too. Sure, I'll tell him later. We unlocked another branch. But, I'll be leaving this here. I don't think I'll continue streaming this, but play it on the side, but this is definitely an interesting story so far. Thank you all for coming. I hope you enjoyed this 2-hour look into Paranormasight, the Mermaid's Curse. And, no one's really streaming right now, so I'll just leave it at this. But, if you like what you saw, please consider following me here on twitch.tv/DJ Birdman, my primary platform, where when you do follow, you can get notifications whenever I go live on the Twitch site or on the Twitch mobile app. And if you want to support the stream and what I do, you can subscribe and get access to these awesome emotes all across Twitch, hand drawn by our resident commissioned artist, Arizona. Her VGen is down below. And then there's my YouTube. Didn't mean for all the caps, but hey. Where all my VODs and shorts, when I'm bothered to make them, will be readily available for your viewing pleasure. All streams past and present, including this one, and I've even done some series such as games in the Castlevania series, Metroid, and a long one that I've done in the past, and just last year was Blueprints, which, oh, that was a rabbit hole. But I will see you all tomorrow for either more Pokemon or continuing Valkyria Chronicles 1. I have been your host, DJ Birdman. Keep it real and keep it classy, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the night. Later.